All right, good morning, guys. Today we're looking at IMMX. It looks like it was doing pretty good here for majority of the pre-market. We took a couple dips below that 200 EMA. It looks like we're back again below that 200 EMA, and we might see a recovery off this. This one looked like a very extended Wyckoff dip, so we might be seeing that again here. If we get any lower, we might see a lot of support, push it back up. Besides that, it looks all right. It's got the volume, it's got the price action, so hopefully it maintains that. We've got SPRB here, also looking all right. It is trading between that VWAP and 200 EMA, so it's not exactly gone yet, but I would like to see this turn a little bit more bullish. We just saw a run out of RPTX here, just this last candle here, last two candles, so we're looking pretty bullish. Now they're looking a little bearish, but that could turn around in the next candle here. Same thing with PDSB. Nice run up here going from about 388 to 450. So we have a decent range here. We are sitting above that VWAP line, so we have to maintain that. RDBX just breaking above that VWAP line with this candle. We may see some bullishness when the market opens here. COSM not looking too great. VTOG just pulled this up for almost no reason, basically. And same for RWLK, just some popular tickers people are looking at right now, but not necessarily trading. PDSB, if it holds here, we might take a play off it. SPRB is not looking too great. RPTX is probably going to be something to take a play on, and IMMX if it can break through. So currently want to try a trade here on PDSB. So we're going to go PDSB. PDSB. I'm going to aim for 430 as an entry, 460 PT, and then just a 420 stop out because we don't really have too much in terms of support below here. If you get a little bit lower than 420, I wouldn't even really recommend moving that stop down. I just keep it the same, just lower your risk. We don't really have too much for support down here, so there's really no point, unless you can get it down to 408, but you'd have to get a really low entry for that. If we break this VWAP and can't hold it, I think it's probably time to cut, but, you know, it's a good preemptive entry here to see if it can hold. PDSB, right? Yeah, that's the right ticker. I'm like traumatized from yesterday getting the ticker wrong. Or not the ticker, the price wrong on it. So far, we're looking okay. Looks like it might be coming down here a little bit. Very bearish looking candle. We are bearish on that MACD too. That's something to keep in mind. So why did that turn orange? I'm pretty sure I picked red. There we go. SPRB not really moving. IMMX looks like it did take a drop, but making its way back up. RPTX dropping as well. RDBX looking okay. I mean, it might come down to that 200 EMA, and that could be a potential play. These other ones not really doing a whole lot. PDSB back up. Let's see. Might see some bullish run out of this. Need to see the start to curl here. We're seeing a lot of volume picking up. We're seeing some movement here. 436. That's what we want to see. We want to see some volume picking up, and we're getting that. Can we hit 460 though? That's a pretty far target. However, could be a good long-term hold. We can always scale out when we hit this 450 resistance line. It's not terrible profit there. RDBX is probably going to go, so I do want to try an RDBX trade as well. We want to get in around 620. We're going to be aiming for 680 with a $6 stop loss. I'd like to give it a little more room if we can get in lower than 620. I don't know if that's quite doable yet or not. So if you do get 620, you can definitely jump in on that. It is fairly safe. I would just rather get it below that 200 EMA. So if we can get down to like 610 and get a 590 stop out, that would be preferable. But I don't think that's going to happen. All right, so we're seeing some gains on RDBX already. PDSB back down with a nasty red candle. Looks like it's very close to stopping out now. You had a chance at small profits here, nothing fantastic. It is trying to push against it. We'll see if it can hold. Looking like it's more than likely a stop out, yeah. Took profits on it, good. That's good. Definitely a good move there. RDBX up to 640 here. Not quite where we want it to be, but we're getting there. We could take some small profit to 640. Starting to scale out of RDBX here a little bit. No point in holding all of the shares past this point. We are hitting a resistance line, and remember those resistance line can push the stock back down, and that can be a very, very bad thing. So taking profits when we hit those is always a smart idea. RPTX, massive green candle going from $10.70 all the way to $11.28. So just over almost a 60-cent candle there. RDBX gets rejected. That's why we took profits. PDSB we're still in. It's not looking super bullish right this second, but we did see a nice push. It's all wicks though, so that's not really a good sign. But we do look like we have some decent support here. I do think our stop loss is just a little too tight to keep us safe right now, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. IMMX has done a pretty amazing job of running up here, breaking through that 200 EMA, just breaking through that VWAP line and breaking through a series of resistance lines. We could potentially take a play on this. I do think it's a little overextended. We have seen nothing but green volume. We're going to see sellers start to take place here and push it back down. We went from 238 to 260, so there's some good profit on the table there. So we'll let them do their thing, and then maybe we'll jump in after that. RDBX coming back down to 230 again after retesting that resistance. PDSB on its way back up here. We did see a high of 435. Not quite where we want to see it, but maybe another opportunity to take profits there. RPTX still, you know what, that was a very bullish candle, but those bands are really, really tight. I'm not really seeing too much opportunity there. RWLK, nothing going on. RDB or PDSB is back down. IMX still holding. We have lots of sellers building on this side, so I am expecting a hard push on the seller side. RDBX down, comes all the way back down to 611. Could take another full position on RDBX. I think I'm going to do that. RDBX, I'll try for a 610 this time because I'm not really in a rush to get in because we still have some from the last trade. We're going to aim for that 660 mark, and we're going to go with a 590 stop loss. So we're aiming for 610. If you do happen to get a little higher, a little lower, probably not the end of the world. The idea is basically just we want to get our stop loss below this 200 EMA, so which is currently sitting around that 598 mark. So if you can get it a couple cents below, you'll probably be okay. RDBX currently climbing up very high again. IMMX still pushing higher, even though we have an amazing amount of sellers coming in to push it down, like 300, 500 orders at a time coming in. Very, very hard to beat that, but it is. PDSB, if you didn't take profits the first time or the second time, it looks like you are now stopping out. Okay, so that just leaves our open trade as RDBX right now. That's PDSB. We're going to see it's probably come down probably to this resistance or support line and then maybe down to that 200 EMA. Maybe we'll take a play off it at that point, but we'll have to wait and see. Huge green candles again on RPTX going from $11 to just about $12. This is looking pretty bullish. We're having very explosive volume, so we could try an RPTX trade. We'd be looking to get it at $11. We're going to be aiming for 1250 with a 10... Just give it a 1050 stop. That should be fairly safe. So you're giving it about 50 cents from wherever you get it. RPTX. How did I get into RBDX the second time? I have yet to get into RBDX. Or RDBX, sorry. Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of being patient with this one because we still have an entry on it. I do think it will come back down to that 610 mark. We may even get a better one. Our stop loss is going to be aiming at that 690 mark. PDSB looking like it's found its support line here. I'm not entirely convinced yet, so we're gonna let that go for now. RPTX, we got down to about 1115 there, something like that. Not really exactly where we wanted it to be, but we're getting fairly close. IMX still really not really caring about all the sellers coming in. It's still holding itself up there pretty nicely. I don't think it'll run much further. I think there is just too many sellers and buyers converting at that price range, but I could definitely be wrong about that. RDBX kind of ranging between that 620 and 630, 640 area. RPTX still holding at this level. We're looking like it's more likely to go up than down here, but it's really hard to tell. We've just had giant green candles so far, so I mean, we could be due for buyer's exhaustion here. Buyer's exhaustion. That's hard to say for whatever reason. We're going to see what happens here. Did I stop out? No, I took really slim profits though. It wasn't really anything fantastic. I think I walked away with okay, I walked away with 10 cents, like just barely 10 cents. I thought it was 8 cents, but my entry was 428 on it instead of 430. IMMX looks like another big candle's coming into play here. Yeah, we still see sellers stacking, which still worries me too much. I don't really want to jump in on this. I feel like it's going to hit a massive red candle, and it'll probably be the second I jump into it. RDBX, yeah, I also got in on RDBX as well. Looking half decent on that, where we got down all the way to 602 there. I didn't quite get a 602 fill, but I still got a decent entry on it. I do think it is going to come back. I'm not going to move that stop loss any further down than that 590 mark, even though with a 606 entry, I could probably get pretty close to that other resistance or support line. I don't think it's really necessary. I don't think it would hold there if it fell. So I'm just going to... You got a 610? Oh, you had a limit order? Nice, nice. Well, that's not bad. You got in. IMX still pushing up. We see another good green candle up to 276. We do have resistance at that level, so I do expect to see some sort of pullback on this at some point. Who knows, really, though. We are seeing some slight profits here in RPTX as we hit 1140. As high, almost hitting 1150 there. Let's replace this with CRDO. Not really looking great. What about score? Not a fan of that. We got LE. Yeah, again, not really a huge fan of that. Avia's running again. RPTX 1120. Or yeah, I think it was 1120. Yeah. Avia. It's looking okay. We went from wow, we actually started up really low here, 422 all the way to 480. This one might be one we want to watch. SPRB, RWLK, IMMR we could take a look at. Meh. PMCB. The PMCB is not actually looking all that bad from 228 to 240. Its range isn't huge or anything, but its chart pattern's looking okay. Volume's fairly consistent. You accidentally market sold? Well, that's not too bad. I mean, as long as you're watching the spread on it. I mean, the spread's pretty terrible right the second, but at some points it's okay. PDSB looks like it wants to go. RPTX, we're hitting all the way up to 1170 here. We can start scaling out. We have a little bit of profit. Gonna start to scale out around that 1180 mark. IMX starting to hit that pullback. We did hit 640 on RBDX. We did get a 610 entry. That's 30 cents profit. Start to scale out of that. Scaling out some of RDBX here. Did hit, yeah, we just hit that 640. Back at that 1170 mark. Could see a nice little push here. I think we just broke a little bit more higher there. A little bit more high. A little higher. That would be proper. Must have been Russia. They honestly have nothing better to do. We could be getting close to an IMMX entry. I'd like to see if it holds this 200 EMA. It'll probably break through. I wouldn't expect it to hold at the VWAP line, honestly. I still think it's due for a decent pullback on this, so maybe down to 200 EMA. Yeah, PDSB has kind of been curling up the whole time. I've been watching it. It's again, I'm not entirely convinced it's done doing what it's doing. I mean, it could have been a decent trade going from 420 to 430, but that's really not massive profits or anything. RDBX still struggling to get past that resistance line. RPTX does hit 1175, really struggling to get past that. So this is probably the price range you want to be, you know, taking some profits on. I don't know. We just opened up here. Now, yeah, can't really get past that 1175. It's honestly pretty big wall here for whatever reason. But you know what? We'll leave a little bit in there. Who knows? Might get past it. IMMX does actually just bounce right off that VWAP line and continue going. This stock is being very, very bullish today. Much more bullish than the market anticipates. Nice candle on PDSB here, bringing it all the way up to almost 440. So that would have been a good trade then. 420 to 440 would be about 20 cents. We have RPTX on its way back down. Maybe. It's really just not going anywhere. It's sitting up here. It might break that resistance because honestly, it's not coming back down very far. Avia continues its slight run. PMCB still looking okay. RWOK not really have any. It's not really going anywhere. We're hitting that 640 mark on RDBX again. I still can't really see it breaking that resistance just yet. We have PDSB here, looking like it's probably going to start to come back down. If you are in PDSB, I would probably be taking profits somewhere soon here. It looks like that top end might curl up, but I don't know. We'd be breaking into kind of new territory here, and I just don't really see that happening right this second. No, I didn't. RPTX is back down. Could be looking for a re-entry here. I mean, we're still holding some, but I mean, if you wanted a re-entry, you definitely could. There's probably money on the table to make there. There's Avia still kind of running up slowly here. I'm not really seeing much I like, though. IMMX coming back down, maybe to VWAP again. Yeah, finally, eh? Yeah, it was looking really shaky in the morning. That found its bottom here around that 420 mark, and it could make a new high here. It could. If it could break through that resistance, but I think this run up needs a pullback. I think IMMX is suit for a decent pullback as well. We did break through on RDBX, almost touching that 11 or 650 mark. SPRB is just not doing much. Same with Avia. Avia is not really moving the way I want it to. All right, so we're starting to see that pullback on PDSB. IMX is next. RPTX still, you know, it's doing its thing. It's going up and down like 50, 60 cents, and that's really it. Yeah, me too. I wasn't expecting PDSB to run up that high that fast. Avia's still climbing. God damn. Look at that. It's almost at $5. It's like the candles aren't really bullish, and there's really not a lot of price action to read here. But it just continues to move up anyway. So far, it's holding the higher lows, yeah. Bottom band's curling in pretty tight, which is a good sign. Top band isn't really yet, which is also another good sign. So maybe we can try opening a position on IMMX. Probably looking at about a 260-ish entry. We're going to aim for at least 280 here. And then a 250 stop loss. Let's give it a 253 stop loss. Yeah, let's give it a 253. Our stop loss is actually going to be right on another line here, unfortunately. I really hate doing that, but it's hard to see when it does that, but that's okay. This might be a little bit of a consolidation before a continued run. That might be what we're seeing here. RDBX breaks through. We are seeing that 660 mark, and that will be PT. RDBX. You can continue to scale out your profits here. I don't know if we'll see much higher, but we can start closing out those runners around this level. We actually saw up to 666. Definitely going to be due for a pullback. Brings our average up nicely. Wow, 668. Can it push to 670? Yeah, there's 670. Maybe we can get higher. We're in the 680 area. We hit almost hit 690. Wow, that was really hard to say. Brought up our average pretty good on one of them, but not so much on the other one. Coming back down pretty hard. We'll probably be looking for a re-entry on VWAP, perhaps. I don't know, man. This might even go higher. I'm completely out now, but I kind of hope it doesn't. Got your fill on IMMX yet? IMMX looking good so far. $257 entry. I could move the stop down further, but I'm not going to. I think I'm going to leave it where it is. If we do break through this 200 EMA, this could be bad news for us for sure. So I'll just take it that I got a lower entry and lowering my risk here. So I'm just going to leave it as is. That bottom band is curling in pretty tight. I'd be kind of surprised to see it hit that stop loss. I think we're going to stop at this 200 EMA and start to move back up. RDBX continues its run. 708. Could have made even more money off it. Holy crap. Massive run. Broke through that 640 resistance and ended up at $7. And this is why breakout traders are breakout traders. IMX still looking good. PDSB is coming back down. We'll see if it lands back on this line. This wasn't supposed to be a support line, but this was a stop line, and it's looking like it might actually come back down to it. It's not a bad fill, actually. I got 257, so we're sitting pretty here. We are looking a little bit safe where that Bollinger Band is touching the not the 200 EMA, the stop loss. So we could potentially be safe here. I'd like to see it get past it quite a bit. I'm not quite sure that's going to happen yet, though. We saw a high of 708 on RDBX. It's coming back down. IMX is looking okay. PDSB, massive green candle pushing it back up. I think we'll see at least 424 out of that. Avia continues its push up to $5, even with the bands closing in, even with like a little bit of a dip. This thing just continues to run. That MACD isn't even getting any more overheated. It's just staying where it is. And this is just continuing its move up. I hate stocks like this. There's just no sign of a good entry. It's just kind of jump in and hope for the best. PMCB is not really doing anything, RWOK or SPRB, so we're actually just going to close all three of these down for now. IMMX does in fact stop us out. We hit a knife and it just stops us out. Let's see if it holds here. I assume it probably won't, but you never really know. It is what it is. I think we are getting fairly close to an entry point on PDSB. I would still like to see at least 424 because I would like to put a stop at like, I don't know, 410. RPTX still kind of struggling, gets down to that 1120 area, goes up pretty high, 1150, 1160, something like that. We might see some profit here with that. We still have a runner in it. Avia, like I can't fathom jumping in this. It always looks like it's ready for a pullback. Of course, we like just hit that stop and then it bounces back up. We could try this. I'm going to try a re-entry. I'm going to try to not be salty about getting stopped out on IMMX. We are seeing some signs that it may recover, so go for a 252 entry. We'll just say it's a really good entry here. We're going to go for something fairly safe, maybe 265, and then just a 245 stop loss. 245, yeah, that gets us below that next, can I even touch that line? Yeah, there we go. Now I can move it. So we're going for a 245 stop. So we can get in here 252. You can wait a little bit longer if you want a potentially even better entry. I'm not quite sure it'll happen, but you never know. But you know what? We are fairly overextended downwards on this MACD. Or underextended, I don't know. No, it would still be overextended. We're likely to see this turn around at some point soon, so that's basically the reason for the entry, is I think that we can maintain some bullishness on this. RDBX showing like no signs of coming back down. Yes, my PT is, I hit one too many times. 265. If it goes to 22, that was the greatest call in my life, but I highly doubt that'll be going to $22. Yeah, we definitely would not be holding that long either way. Yeah, that's true. I see $3 and be out. I don't even care if it went to $22. It would have to like jump into a halt and then unhalt at like $20. I'd probably fall out of my chair. RDBX finally showing some signs it might be coming back down at least to VWAP here, maybe down to the support line. We'll have to wait and see. RPTX all the way up to 1211. Here's another chance to cut some. Cutting some more RPTX at 1210-ish. PDSB down a little bit. We're seeing that 424 area. That's what I was hoping to see. So we're going to go PDSB 420-ish. We're going to aim for 440 PT with a 4. What did I say I wanted that stop at? Just 410. Maybe 10 cents. About 10 cents. You could do more if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary. That's if it starts to come down anywhere close to that stop, we should probably cut it either way. But this was a nice dip. And it's a very bullish candle, so I feel like that's a win. Yeah, IMMX, it looks like our super salty second entry was worth it as we get up to 260 here. On PDSB? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Kind of a panic buy, but I did get into it. Yeah, hotkeys and thinking very, very quickly. Very decisive is what it is actually. If you stop and you think too long, usually you'll miss out on it. But if you think too less, you end up with bad trades. So it's kind of there's like a sweet in between somewhere in there. IMX 265, pretty sure that was our PT actually. Yeah, it is. All right. Well, actually, it was 2265, but that's why sometimes it's best to not be salty because we hit 265 with ease there within like a couple candles. So it just, keep your emotions under wrap and sometimes it pays off. 266, gonna scale out here. I think we might hit more, so I'm just gonna, hold a little bit. Scaling most of IMMX out, but moving a runner. Hit a high there of 267. Okay, so my exit wasn't too bad. PDSB looking good at 433 from entry around 420. What was my fill? 423. Yeah, 420. I thought it said 443. I was like, hang on a second. Had a mini heart attack there. Had no idea how that would have even happened. Yeah. Seeing a nice climb out of IMMX. We're seeing a nice climb out of PDSB. Nice climb out of RPTX as we hit a high of 1220. IMMX coming down a little bit. It's a little bit to get used to hotkeys, and you have to, if you're on IBCare, you have to test them out with a paper account before you try them on a real account, because even if you think you have it set up right, you could have something wrong in there, or something just doesn't work with something else, and you'll go to use it, and like half the order will work, half the order won't work, or won't work the way you expect it to work, and just something's gonna go wrong and you'll lose money. I can almost guarantee it. That's just how it happens. So it's best to at least try in the pre-market with a paper account or something. Um, well, I mean, I guess that might not be feasible depending on what you're using. If you're using market orders, it won't work, but or stop losses. Yeah, don't do it in the pre-market. It's not going to work either way. But once market opens, I would definitely try it with the paper account first. Almost at 440 here on PDSB. That's my little rant for the day. You can start to scale out some profits here. Scaling out some profits, PDSB. You know what I like about recording the stream is some people in other Discords, I guess they don't realize how late these alerts come in, but the voice alerts come in a lot quicker. Like for them on some Discords, it's like a 15-second delay for the alert to come out. And sometimes by the time I'm even saying it's time to scale it, you might have like 3 or 4 seconds to actually start doing it. So by the time other people get these alerts and they look, like PDSB was at like almost 440 when I said that. Now it's 435. They're probably just receiving the alert now. And it could be on its way down, so it's probably nice to give them that field of view that it could be faster. IMMX looks good here, 266. RDBX back. I haven't even touched RDBX again because it keeps going. IMMX looking pretty good here. 270. I want to scale up the rest, but it's really not a whole lot more. I think we might be able to hit, I don't know, 270 is pretty high. The top end is opening though. It's tough call. I would like to get another entry on RPTX because I feel like this has just been super bullish, not coming down at all. But in kind of a good way. Like the candles are ranging enough, but I don't know. Compared to this, like this just looks scary. Or Avia looks pretty scary. Oh, actually, you know what? Avia had a decent dip here. I think I'm actually going to try an Avia entry off that. AVYA 490. We're gonna, I guess 490. We could probably aim for 480, but I guess the 490 is gonna be fine. We're gonna go for a 5 450 PT and then a 475 stop. Honestly, I could probably get away with giving it a little bit more of a stop, but I think that's okay. The keyword there is definitely think. Yeah. We're up a little bit on it, so I mean it can't be that bad of a stop loss, I guess. PDSB looks like it was a good thing to take profits. We have IMMX on its way back down a little bit after hitting that 270 mark. RDBX still holding that 680 level pretty nicely. That was another thing, is like looking at this and then looking at like people trying to trade off their phone, and I have no idea how people could even possibly manage that while day trading. Oh man. It like actually makes me cringe to think that people try to do this off their phone. Like, how could you possibly look at alerts and then switch back to your broker and like figure out the chart and where to jump in and place your order and get in mobile pro? Like, you'd literally need, if you had like maybe 3 phones on the go, I could see that maybe working, like 3 mini screens. But just like one phone, I just can't see it happening. Yeah, I think everybody does start that way, especially people who come from any other kind of trading to day trading. Yeah, like a swing trade, totally. That makes sense. You can place a limit order and wait, you can set up a bracket order, and that's it, right? And then you just wait and you'll get notifications. But like, man, if you're trying to do that with this kind of trading, I can't fathom that you'd ever even be lucky enough to get profit. Like, I feel like even with luck on your side, you're still gonna end up negative for the day. PDSB might curl up here. This could be a potential entry, although we are seeing that's actually a very nice pattern, but it's a pattern of consolidation. So IMMX is indeed coming down. We could get a re-entry here. I think that's what I'm looking to do off of it. IMMX, we're going to go for that 252 entry again to 265 with a 245 stop loss. Let's just do the exact same trade again. Why not? What do we have? Again, we just have, I think we basically closed everything out. We have a little bit left in RPTX, but not really anything. Yeah, PDSB is closed. Although I should open up another one because this has a potential that it could go somewhere very, very soon. I can't really decide if it's up or down yet. IMMX, it might not come down to 252. These are just like potential zones to take trades on, though. You don't necessarily have to hit the exact number. But just like a general area. Here on IMMX. Yeah, IMMX. I did hit buy. I didn't get a terrible fill. Probably could have waited a little longer, honestly. Oh, yeah, you're actually saying a different ticker here. Got it. Wow, that's was a really nice climb and then a very nasty drop from 390 to 338. Holy crap. Yeah, that was a knife. That was maybe even a sword. Anyways, I'm gonna stop recording the stream here, so we'll just quickly go over the money board. So we're currently sitting at 128 bucks profit for the day. Not as good as yesterday, as not as good as we closed out yesterday, but we still have like 20 minutes. So we'll see if we can do that. But yeah, not doing too bad. We're up 39% as opposed to 55% the other day. We do have a couple open trades, so that could definitely change very quickly here. But so far, so good.